Hello, everyone. Welcome to the refresher course in biomedical content writing. Today's topic will be medical blogging, the anatomy of a perfect blog. I'm your speaker. My name is Dr. Lakshmi Vaswani. I'm a medical content writer and a clinical pathologist by training. I'm also the founder of HealthVerse, which is a medical communications company that helps healthcare brands build their online presence. Today, when we be talking about medical blogging, we're looking at writing online. As part one of our session, we're looking at what is a blog, Google's role in blogging, the basics of SEO, and the types of blogs that are out there. Part two will cover blogging basics, the strategy of a blog, the organization outline we need to develop, the headings, keyword research, and content research. Part three will cover the finishing touches when we edit and proofread our work and when we finally publish and promote our work. Part one, writing online. Here we will cover the basics of blogs, Google's role in blogging, the basics of SEO, and the types of blogs. The first question is, of course, what is a blog? The word blog came from a shortened version of web log. It's basically a type of a web page that reads like a journal or a diary entry. Each entry or each article in the blog is called a blog post. It can be a single writer or a group of writers who share their views or share information about a particular topic online. The value of a web page called a blog is that it organizes content in categories using tags or keywords. Your posts or your entries are in reverse chronological order, which means that your latest post goes at the top of the page. A blog post can also be very rich in multimedia. It has images and videos pertaining to the topic. It also has paragraphs, headings, and text breaks because white space is important when you're reading something online. You need your matter to be categorized and spaced properly. And a very important thing that has come up recently is the author box. The author box gives credibility to your blog. It tells you who has written it, and it lends a certain expertise to the blog that you have written, especially in medical content writing or in medical blogging, where the source of the information is very important. Make it make sense. Now, one would think that writing blogs is as simple as just writing information, like how you would write a case paper or write something for a journal or write simply for yourself. But online writing is a little different because there is a big factor here, which is our search engines or Google. So the first blog was made in 1994. Currently, there are more than 600 million blogs on the internet, out of which 1.7 billion websites are already present on Google. The aim of a medical blog is to get people to visit your website and increase your rankings on Google. Data shows that businesses that publish 16 or more posts per month receive 3.5 times more traffic than those who publish fewer than 4 posts. So if you are working for an organization who wants to improve their website and improve their online presence, or you yourself have developed your own website and you would like people to read your work, increasing your rankings on Google by creating good quality blog posts is essential. It's an easy way to give valuable information to your target audience. It positions you, a person or the company, as experts because they know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, they are subject matter experts. It helps you to repurpose your content for other marketing avenues like social media, print media, etc. Well, now we have to ask, what's Google got to do with it? Why are we doing all these things like formatting blogs, looking for keywords, putting it in a particular fashion, uploading it and advertising it in a particular way? Why do we care what Google thinks? Well, Google is the largest search engine in the world. A lot of us use it for our research, whether you're in the medical field or not. Most of our patients and community members look for their information online at the moment. So for a simple question, for maybe a patient who's been through the health system and just recovered from an operation like a cataract operation. They may want to know how long does it take to recover from a cataract operation. Google wants to help this person out, so they would put up information, usually in the form of blogs, that will help them find the answer to their question. And the blog that manages to answer the question in the best possible way gets this first place on a Google search page. Most of us, when we're looking for information, don't go to the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 10th pages, even though there may be really good blogs in there. But there's something about this blog where Google decided it has ticked all the boxes. It's a well-crafted blog and it deserves to be read. So we will rank it higher so more people will visit it. Right? You may look at related searches as well to find out what other people are talking about as far as this topic is concerned. But the idea is to fulfill Google's criteria for a good blog so that we rank higher on the search page. Again, why do we care what Google thinks? Now, you may write really brilliant content, but if Google doesn't like it, if you've not given it in the format that Google understands it, no one will get the chance to read it. This was very evident in the Medic update of 2018. Now, we all know that Google is essentially an algorithm or a software. It's been around for a long time and has been through a lot of changes in that time. Now, in 2018, the algorithm was updated. We need to know this because it affected healthcare sites most significantly. More than 41% of healthcare sites were affected. Why? Because health is a YMYL topic. It means it's a your money or your life topic. It affects people more significantly than any other topic. There was a lot of medical misinformation out there. At that point, the medical information that was available on Google was not verifiable. It was not credible information. So Google wanted to establish each factors, which was expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. They wanted to rank websites or make websites more prominent of those who they trusted. So how do we gain Google's trust? By making sure that we fulfill all the criteria that they want, which is that we need a good, credible author page. We need to reference all our material. We need to make sure that the people who are writing are approved to write for these things, that they are subject matter experts. So there are a bunch of SEO mandates or just general technical mandates behind the website and the blog that makes it more appealing for Google. But as far as content is concerned, we have to make sure that our medical content comes from people who are able to research it and who are willing to put their name on the blog as authors so that we know where this information has come from. Which brings us to the next section. What is SEO? SEO is a term you may have heard over the last few years. It's become very popular, especially as everything has shifted online now. A lot of our information, the way we learn, the way we study is all online. SEO stands for search engine optimization. In simple terms, it means the process of improving your website to increase its visibility when people search for products or services related to your business in Google, Bing, or other search engines. As a writer, we know that content comes as one part of SEO. It's just one strategy in the whole arsenal of SEO artillery. So it goes into websites, your sitemaps, keyword research, social networking, web design, even how your website looks on a mobile phone as opposed to your desktop or laptop. These are all things that SEO experts deal with. Content is just part of it. So as writers, when do we need to be concerned about SEO? When we're crafting our content and we're using keywords and links, which we'll get into later on in this presentation. So what can we do to make sure that the blog is optimized so that Google likes it, right? These are the two things that will make Google prefer your blog when it's well written. Now, obviously, there are paid options for everything. So we have something known as organic search versus paid search ads. Now, when we have two pieces of content, you have the option to promote your content or convert it into an ad where you pay Google to display it on its first page. So when I enter a word called blood tests or a search word called blood tests, I'm looking for information about laboratory tests. Two types of content can show up at me. I can see a paid content, which has the word ad written over here. That means this particular company has paid Google to display their content on blood tests. Whereas Healthline, which is a very extensive healthcare information website, has developed a blog called 10 Important Blood Tests, What They Show and Why. Now, this is a very informative, detailed blog. It has a lot of keywords, a lot of links, a lot of references. It's been written by a very credible person, which is why Google thought this is a good article for us to read and has shown it in their first page of results. And this is organic reach because organically or naturally, this blog post was good enough to come on the first page. Here, it is a clear cut, it's an ad, and Google receives ad revenue for displaying this on their webpage. Now, when we are writing for the algorithm and we're writing for Google, what are the certain factors that we must ensure are incorporated in our blogs to make sure that Google likes it? So it has an algorithm that ranks your content after it crawls your content. Crawl is just another way of saying that Google looks through your content and looks for certain features to rank it. Websites or blogs with great content get featured on the first page, and so more people will visit your site. What is the algorithm looking for when it crawls your website? It looks at outline and structure. Can we skim through? Is it given in with clear headings, like an introduction, the main content, the subheadlines? Is it broken up in a easily digestible way instead of one big block of text or paragraphs? Does it have keywords? We'll go into what keywords are later, but basically words that your content revolves around. Backlinks, internal links, or external links. These are reference materials linking to different sites that you may have referred to for your content, different published papers. It's basically referencing. Readability. Are there too many complex words, too many specialized technical words, or have you written it for a lay audience? Is your grammar proper? Have you written long run-along sentences which confuse the reader? Intent of search. If the searcher has asked for a particular piece of information, has your blog been able to deliver that information to them? For example, if they have requested information on blood tests, but you've written about the formation of blood cells and the formation of platelets, for example, it may be medically accurate. You may be talking about blood, but has it really fulfilled what the reader wanted to know? They wanted to know about ways to test your blood. So in that way, we need to make sure that our content is structured so that it fulfills a certain search criteria or intent of search. Author profiles. Every blog should have a person that has written the blog. It should not ideally be from the organization with no name. Each name has to have a separate author profile where we, especially for medical content, the training that we've gone through, our background, at the very least, our degrees, something that qualifies us to write for this content. The length of the blog ideally should be between 1,000 and 2,000 words, but a minimum of 500 words is recommended for a blog. And the most important is a call to action in the conclusion. Have we concluded the blog properly? Have we told the reader what we want them to do? It may be as simple as going to the next blog or subscribing to a newsletter, or signing up for a course, or even submitting an abstract for a journal. Anything that prompts the reader to take the next step. Types of blogs. We have personal blogs. These blogs are usually said in first-hand accounts. So we use I, me, mine. You could be a scientist who is documenting their PhD journey, or a doctor working, on rounds in the hospital and just talking about their journey with patients and how they run their practice. Business blogs, where you're writing on behalf of a company and the pronouns you would use is we or ours. Supposing you are a scientist working for a large research company and you are representing that research company and describing your latest projects and the advances that you've made. Guest blogs, where you're invited to contribute to a blog. Say a large laboratory chain has their own blog or a website, and you are a pathologist or a lab technician who's working for a hospital or working for your own lab, and you have certain expertise that can contribute to their blog, they would invite you to write a blog on a particular test that you're doing, and showcase your expertise and your profile on their website. A niche blog is an informational blog, which is a lot of what medical information is. A lot of medical sites revolve around this. This is, you are giving a lot of information and trying to answer as many patient queries as possible. It really depends on good research. And then we come to affiliate blogs. Affiliate blogs is when you're trying to promote a product or a service, directing people to visit that site. For example, if you are working for a medical device company and you are writing about the product, maybe a heart rate monitor, an ECG monitor, you're writing a product description, and you're enticing people to visit the site, to buy the product, to check out the product. So accordingly, the language of your blog will change. You're using more persuasive language in affiliate blogs. You're using more educational language in informational blogs. And maybe in personal blogs or in business blogs, we're looking at a way to capture attention. So maybe an entertainment value, adding a video, adding images. So accordingly, our outlook would change depending on what kind of blog we are writing. With that, I end session 1, and I'll see you again in session 2. Thank you.